I'm John Fensterwald, writer and host of EducatedGuests.org, a blog and forum on California education policy. Join me while I interview important and interesting leaders in education. You'll learn a lot in 10 minutes or less. In May, the legislature received a report offering a new vision for transforming California high schools in the next decade. With me to discuss that report and the bill behind it, AB 2648, is Gary Hoachlander, president of ConnectEd. ConnectEd is the California Center for College and Career. Welcome, Gary. Thank you for joining.
Thank you, John. I'm very happy to be here.
So first, explain, if you will, what exactly is the new definition of linked learning pathways to career and college, and why is it important?
Well, linked learning is fundamentally about changing high schools. John, as you know, for many, many young people in California, high school is just not working. About a third of ninth graders will drop out without completing high school. Another third will finish but won't be well prepared for further success in post-secondary education and career. Only about a third will be truly ready to succeed in further education and the world of work. So linked learning is about reorganizing high school, core academics, math, science, English, social study, connecting that academic content to really challenging career and technical education, organizing both around a major industry theme like engineering or biomedical and health science, law and justice, and using that focus to help students better understand, why do I need to know this? Why the math, the geometry, the algebra, even the foreign language, why do I need to know this? And through authentic application in sort of real-world experience, helping students make those connections and master the knowledge and skill that they need to go on.
So this is not like your traditional voc ed and college prep, where you have two different tracks and sort of you either pick or selected to do one or the other. This brings students together and gives them the option of doing either, right? Perhaps going to a four-year university,
well,
or
not either, but both.
Okay.
So this is really about preparing students for college and career, both objectives, not just one or the other. And by college, I mean the full range of post-secondary options. So four-year college and university, absolutely, but also two-year community college, apprenticeship where that's appropriate, formal employment training, the full range of post-secondary options. And no longer preparing some students for work and some students for post-secondary. You can't survive in this economy without some form of post-secondary training.
Right. So give us an example, if you will, of a center it's working well.
Sure. There are lots of different ways to do this. So probably the most common is the Career Academy, or a theme-based small learning community, a school within a school. There are theme-based high schools like Health Professions High School in Sacramento. But one example would be the Health Careers Academy at Palmdale. Again, a comprehensive four-year program of study that prepares students not just for entry into health careers. They may choose to go into something else, but because they get the core academics along with the technical education, they have a full range of opportunities available to them after they graduate.
And it tends to improve the graduation rate as well?
It does. I mean, the evidence is that students who participate in these kinds of pathways have higher attendance, much better rates of on-time grade-to-grade transition, higher rates of high school completion. The evidence is very compelling that this works.
So 2648, AB 2648, tell us why that's important and the report that accompanied it.
Well, AB 2648 is really asked for a feasibility report that would look at the strategies for making these kinds of opportunities much more available to many more students throughout the state of California. Too often, these examples like Health Professions High School or Construction Technology Academy or the Academy of Digital Media and Design at Kearney High, these exist sort of in spite of the system, not because of it. There are a few dedicated people who really have created this. And so what AB 2648 does is begin to establish the policy framework that would make these kinds of opportunities much more available to students throughout the state.
Good. And tell us, what are the key recommendations from that report?
Well, the report takes both a short and a long-term view. It's a very comprehensive report, I think quite bold in its vision for high schools in California. In the short term, it makes three critical recommendations. One, it establishes a statewide advisory committee, or ask the legislature to establish such a committee that would help sustain this work over time. Number two, and I think most importantly, it creates a kind of demonstration or pilot project so that, for example, identifying 20 districts throughout the state of California that would form a linked learning district consortium, and in return for committing to doing this kind of work at the local level, would be freed from certain requirements in the education code, for example, might be given more discretion around teacher credentialing and other kinds of issues that are obstacles to doing this on a larger scale at the local level, might create some other kinds of incentives for these districts. That's the second recommendation.
Good.
And thirdly, really asks for a comprehensive look at the way we organize career and technical education in California. The report suggests that we use the regional occupational program and center system throughout the state as a way to bring a lot more clarity and coherence to career and technical education, which is just one component of linked learning. Linked learning really consists of the core academics, a four-year program of career and technical education, work-based learning, and support services, including supplemental instruction. So career and technical education is just one part, a very important part of that. And I think the report recognizes that in California we need to figure out a way to deliver that aspect of it a lot more effectively.
Okay, and can you do this without a lot more money?
Yeah, you can certainly start, and we all know we don't have a lot of money right now. This is, first, I think the important thing to emphasize is that we need to use whatever resources we have differently. We can spend resources differently. That isn't to say that linked learning and the implementation of linked learning would not benefit from additional resources. It absolutely would. There are issues around curriculum development and professional development and work-based learning that would certainly benefit from higher spending. But we're working with 9 districts throughout the state with the support of the James Irvine Foundation. They're doing this now without more money. And making some very difficult trade-offs, but moving ahead, and it can be done even in this very, very difficult fiscal environment.
Yeah, so say this succeeded, and sounds like a good plan, say 8-10 years from now, what would you envision California high schools looking like, and how many students might be involved in the various linked learning opportunities?
Well, my hope is that 5 to 10 years down the road, that as many as half of California's high school students would have access to a menu of pathways. So right now, Health Professions High School at Palmdale is terrific, but if you're not interested in health professions, you don't have an alternative. So in each of these districts, and the pilot project would be a perfect example, ensuring that students have access to at least 6 to 8 different options. This is not for every student. It doesn't mean that every student would choose to do this. Those who want a more traditional high school experience can have it. But I would love to see this kind of opportunity available to at least half of the young people in California.
And what do you think the primary challenges to getting there might be?
There are a lot of them. I think first, it's just the culture of high school is very, very difficult to change. We all went to high school. We all have very set views about what high school should look like. This is a very, very different model. We have major challenges around curriculum development, building capacity among academic and technical teachers to do this work. But these are doable. And I think AB 2648 really provides the framework for helping us get there.
Well, Gary, this sounds like a vision worth pursuing, and we look forward to speaking with you in the future as we go step by step and seeing if California can implement 2648.
Great. Thank you, John.
Thank you for joining us.
My
Thank you
pleasure.
for watching.